Hare Krishna. Krishna is so merciful. He makes things happen. But actually, Krishna can intervene in different ways. And depending on the situation, he will orchestrate things in a way by which we come closer to him, provided we see that as his signal. And therefore, when Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev are meeting each other, at that time Nanda Maharaj says, Vasudev is telling Nanda Maharaj, Dishtya bhrata pravayasa idanim aprajasyate prajashaya nivrittasya prajatat samapadyata. That Nanda Maharaj got a son after a long time. So he says, Dishtya bhrata, you are very old. Pravayasa idanim aprajasyate, and you were without any children for a long time. Prajashaya nivrittasya, you almost gave up all hope for getting any children. Prajatat samapadyata. But still, by the divine destiny, you finally got a child. So, Nanda Maharaj, he actually gave birth to a daughter. And then Vasudeva brought Krishna and then exchanged. So Vasudeva knows that. So therefore, he is not saying to Nanda Maharaj, you got a son. He is not using the word putra. He is saying praja. Praja, praja, praja. He uses the word praja 3 times. Idanim aprajasyate. You were without praja, without progeny. Prajashaya nivrittasya, you were devoid of any hope of having praja. Prajatat samapadyata. Then you got praja. So he's very specifically avoiding the use of the word son or putra, because Vasudeva knows he is dealing with a Vaishnava, Nanda Maharaj, and therefore I should avoid speaking half-truth. I should be extremely authentic, transparent, honest, straightforward, and leave no scope for any diplomacy. And therefore he is saying praja. Prajatat samapadyata. Therefore, Nanda Maharaj, being a wonderful Vaishnava, is also feeling encouraged by hearing these words of Vasudeva. So Vasudeva himself has lost 6 sons. He has lost 6 sons. The loss of 1 son can be excruciatingly painful. What to speak of loss of 6 sons? Vasudeva has gone through so much of pain, deep pain. But Vasudeva has tolerated all of that and maintained the most difficult asset to maintain. And what is that asset? Some people feel loss of wealth is a great loss. Loss of reputation is a great loss. Loss of health is a great loss. Loss of property is a great loss. Loss of relationship is a great loss. But the Bhagavatam is revealing that the greatest loss is loss of hope. And therefore, Vasudeva is described as tatascha shauri bhagavat prachodita sutam samadaya cha sutika grihat. Vasudeva is glorified as shauri. Shauri means one who is brave. Vasudeva never had a history of defeating anybody in battle. Why is he called brave? Because he did not allow himself to be defeated by the circumstances surrounding him. Therefore, he is considered brave. Tatascha shauri bhagavat prachodita. He refused to lose hope. I was giving a talk at IIT in Janmashtami once, and I was giving the story of Janmashtami, how Krishna was born after the 6 sons were killed by Kamsa. And then after the lecture, one student was talking to me and he said, you know, when the Akashvani or the sound from the sky said that the 8th son is going to be the cause of killing of Kamsa, then Kamsa should have just put Vasudeva in one jail, Devaki in another jail. There would not have been even one son. It was such a simple thing. Why couldn't Kamsa think of such a simple idea? I said, what to do? He did not go to IIT like you. But the message behind Janmashtami when Krishna appears is that Krishna is pleased with his devotees who are willing to go through excruciating pain and tolerate that pain and not lose hope in the midst of that pain in their ongoing determination to have a relationship with him. Krishna wants to see how much are the devotees willing to pay for a relationship with him. Jadi se Mahaprabhur na pai kripadhan kivarajya ki badeha sab akaran. Prataputra Maharaj is saying, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving mercy to everybody except me. What is going on? But I am also determined. Till Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives me his grace, I will continue aspiring for that, even at the cost of my own life, at the cost of my entire kingdom. Bhattacharya kohe devana kara bishad tomara upare Krishner sampurna prasad. Sarvam Bhattacharya looks at the determination of Prataputra Maharaj and says, you are so determined that 100% Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will bestow his mercy upon you. So therefore, in different circumstances, when the devotee is able to maintain his hope, then Krishna becomes pleased. And he reveals the deeper purpose behind why he is orchestrating this situation. So therefore, sometimes when we are caught in situations of relationship issues, the biggest challenge we face in such situation is we lose hope. And therefore, the first principle is appreciate the past. Appreciate the past. That Krishna has given us opportunities to come in the association. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, what was our situation? Where would we be if we had not connected with the association of devotees sometime in the past? Someone somewhere gave us a book, invited us to a talk, gave some prasadam, connected us to Krishna somewhere. So the interesting thing is, what brings us to Krishna consciousness is the relationship with devotees. And after some time, what pushes us away from Krishna is also the association of devotees. So the association of devotees is like a double-edged sword. And if we do not learn how to negotiate around the different complexities, we would actually lose the great opportunity to have this precious jewel of Krishna consciousness. And that's what Narottam Das Thakur says, Gaura paho না ভাজিয়া মাইনু প্রেম রতন ধন helaya harainu. He says, I received the precious jewel of Gaura Prema, but because I neglected it, I lost it. Adhana dhanana dhana dhanatayaginu apana karama doshe apani dubinu. Who can I blame for the loss of that jewel? I have made specific choices because of which I have lost it. And what are some of those choices? I was taking shelter of the association of devotees in the initial days. I had Shraddha, faith in the devotees. So my heart was open. My heart was connecting with the devotees. And then after some time, aparadha. Radha means satisfaction. And as we start closing our heart to the association of devotees, we experience diminishing satisfaction. So Radha means satisfaction, aparadha means diminishing satisfaction. And as our taste in Krishna consciousness starts diminishing, we cannot be in a vacuum, so the taste in sense gratification starts again growing. And therefore, apana karama doshe, because of my choices, apani dubinu, I am again drowning in material ocean. Satsanga chhadi kaino asate bilas te karane lagilu ye karma bandha phas. And gradually we start becoming distant from the association from the heart. Satsanga chhadi. It is not physical, but emotional distancing. Satsanga chhadi koinu asate vilas. And as soon as we become distant from the association from within, we start putting faith again in sense objects. And then what happens? Te karane lagilu ye karma bandha phas. And then we get trapped in sense objects, sense gratification, and start putting faith in sense pleasure. So what is the result of that? Vishaya vishama visha satata khainu gaur kirtana rase maganana hoinu. He says the vishay, the sense objects, are visham, deadly. It is like visha, it is like poison. Satata khainu, I am constantly trying to enjoy them. But what is the effect of that? Gaura kirtana rase maganana hoinu. And I do not feel connected with the Harinam Sankirtan. My taste for chanting, my absorption in the chanting of the holy name diminishes. Gaura Kirtana Rase Magana na hoinu. I was sharing the other day, somebody was, challenging me. Why you are always, promoting in ISKCON, chant 16 rounds? Where in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, chant 16 rounds? Is there any shloka? On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, did Krishna ever ask Arjuna, have you finished your rounds? On the battlefield, did Arjuna ever tell Krishna, Krishna, take the chariot behind that tree, 4 rounds are remaining, and then I will continue the fight? I come to the temple with so much of anxiety with all my business and job and this and that, and I come to relax. And here again you guys start asking, how many rounds are you chanting? Hey, come on, give me a break. Let me relax. Bhakti is from the heart. Let the emotions flow. Don't bring in so much of accountability. 16 round, this round, that round. So I said, Krishna's standard in Bhagavad Gita is Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. He wants us to chant 24 hours. Prabhupada knew you can't do it. So he said 16 rounds. At least 2 hours you chant. He said, Prabhupada ki jai. So actually, the whole process of chanting is sadhana. Dhan means wealth. Sadhan means the means and the process by which you earn your wealth. So your employment, your job, your occupation, your business is your sadhan, the means by which you earn your livelihood, your money. So for a practitioner of Krishna consciousness, in spiritual life, when we come to this temple of Kalachandji, we are accepting this like a stock market or a place where we invest. Prabhupada gives the example in the Nectar of Instruction. A person goes and invests his money in the stock exchange and expects that to grow, the investment to grow. So all of us have come into this association of devotees in the temple to invest our deposit of faith. We come and deposit our meager faith in this association. And then gradually that faith grows. So therefore the temple and the Vaishnava Sangha is a place where the Shraddha, it grows. From Adav Shraddha to Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti to Nishtha. So that faith is growing. And that's why we come here in this beautiful association of devotees. But if we become distant from the same devotees, then our taste in sense gratification grows. So therefore Narottam Das Thakur says, Gaura Kirtana Rase Magana na hoinu. I do not feel taste in that chanting. It appears very dry. Kenova ache pran ki sukh paya Narottama dasa keno nagelo Maria. So he says, what is the use of this human form of life? I have received these beautiful gifts from the Lord through the association. And let me respect this association of devotees. And let me appreciate that actually I am here in Krishna consciousness and able to practice the sadhana. Why? Because now, having come to this mission, having come to this Vaishnava Satsang, and seeing the beautiful darshan of Radha Kalachandji, my main dhan or wealth is now prema, Krishna prema, love of God. That is the wealth I am aspiring for. Prema dhan bina vyartha daridra jiban Dasakori vetan more deha prema dhan. So he says, this is the prema, this is the real dhan, the real wealth. And without that I am daridra. So I want to be dasa and that salary which you should give me is actually in the form of drops of prema. And therefore, that process which helps us acquire that dhan or wealth of prema is known as sadhana. That which brings you closer to the dhan or the wealth of prema is sadhana or the practice. And that consists of, as Rupa Goswami says, the 5 most critical aspects: chanting, hearing the Bhagavatam, deity worship, serving the holy dham, and serving the Vaishnavas. And therefore, in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Ajamil episode, after the Vishnudutas, they leave, Ajamil feels great regret. Kva chaham kitava papa brahmagna nirapatrapa kva cha narayanatyeti bhagavan nama mangalam. He says, to create a social relationship in this world, people consider background, social status. Whereas Krishna is in an exalted state, all kinds of sinful entities are approaching him, aspiring for a relationship. But Krishna is so compassionate and merciful, he never does any background check. He doesn't bother what social status one is coming from, what kind of sinful activities one has performed. He allows anyone to develop a relationship with him. Kvacha narayanatyeti bhagavan nama mangalam. How merciful Krishna is. So he appreciates how I was so sinful, but how Krishna allowed me to come close to him through his holy name. Mriyamano harer nama grinan putropacharitam ajamilopi agadhama kim punah shraddhaya grinan. So Ajamil says in this pastime that Ajamil went through so many challenges, but the concluding verse says, Ajamil chanted helplessly only at the time of death. Just imagine if you chant consistently, how much more benefit you will get. Ajamil called out to his son. If we call out directly to Krishna, how much more benefit we'll get. Till the time of death, Ajamil was breaking the regulatory principles. If you follow the regulatory principles, how much more benefit we'll get. Ajamil had never heard about the glories of the holy name. If we hear the glories and chant with that Shraddha, how much more benefit we'll get. So one student, I was having a conversation and I asked him, who's your most favorite character in Shastra? And he said, Ajamil. I said, there are so many powerful personalities' names are there. Why only Ajamil? Why Ajamil is your favorite? He said, he enjoyed life and went back to Godhead also. So I said, Baba, that was an exception. And that's why his name comes in Bhagavatam. Don't take that risk. Ajamil's pastime is to inspire us what not to do and then what to do. To avoid the sense gratification and see that even a little bit of association of devotees creates so much of benefit that the sages came and gave the gift to his wife, name your son Narayan. That was a gift which Ajamil's wife received from devotees. So therefore, the first principle in relationship is appreciate the past. Second, understand the future potential of the devotees. This is like a hospital where all of us have come to get admitted, to get treated. In a hospital, it is not the healthy people who come and get admitted. Somebody is coughing, somebody is vomiting, this and that. But all of them are treated. And everyone's treatment goes through different stages. Somebody is getting 4 or 5 injections every day. Somebody is not getting any injections. So the guy getting injection can't tell the doctor, hey, give him also 2, 3. Why, I am the only one getting. So his treatment is different. So all of us are going through a stage of purification. So we need to understand that it is not the perfect group of people who would assemble in this association, but it is a group of sincere practitioners who are aspiring for perfection. So therefore, we have to understand the potential of each devotee and respect them for the decision which they have made to take shelter of Krishna consciousness. They may not be perfect, but we must respect them because they have made the perfect choice. So the choice is perfect. Jai Shri Radha Kalachanji Bhagavan ki. Vaishnaver gunagrahi na dekhaye dosh, koy mane vakye kore, Vaishnava santosh. Vaishnaver gunagrahi. We should see the good quality in the devotees. Na dekhaye dosh, and not see the fault. Why? Because we may think, oh, this person is like this person is like that person is like that. And we may see so many differences. But there is one thing all of us have in common. There is one thing which all of us have in common. And what is that? We are all trapped by Maya. Any doubts on that? We are all under the influence of material energy. And all of us want to get out of that. So we are helplessly dependent on Krishna, and Krishna's help comes through his devotees. Prabhupada was on a morning walk, and this was in LA. And Prabhupada saw the devotees looked at the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and commented to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, the ocean looks so beautiful. Prabhupada said, yes, from a distance. If you come close, the ocean will trap you and drown you. And Prabhupada said, Maya is also like that. Maya looks beautiful from a distance. You come close, Maya will trap you and drown you just like the ocean. So that is one thing we have in common. We are under the clutches of the waves of Maya. Like in Jagannath Puri, we were on a yatra, and the ocean in Jagannath Puri is very stormy. And Radhanath Swami was swimming deep into the ocean. And he was not coming out for a long time, so his servant went and asked, Maharaj, everybody is waiting, why you are not coming out? He said, the waves are so strong, my gamcha has been taken away. How will I come out? People are standing with cameras and everything. So the servant went and gave the gamcha. Maharaj came out. And he said, when I entered the ocean, I entered as a Gaudiya sannyasi. I would have come out as a Naga Baba. You make an announcement, nobody should enter today. The ocean is in a very rough state. So we made the announcement. Devotees, do not enter the ocean for a bath. One devotee entered. He loved defying the instruction. That gave him higher taste. So we were telling him, hey, why you are entering? He said, ocean? You know my expertise. I am like an expert swimmer. That announcement is for you guys, the neophytes. For an advanced swimmer, rules don't apply. I'm beyond the rules. I ride on the waves. So he went deep inside. And then suddenly, the current started pulling him into the ocean. He couldn't come out. He realized he's trapped. He raised his hands helplessly. The devotees thought he's saying Haribol. And then someone said, hey, look at him. Maybe he's drowning. And then we sent the lifeguard inside. The lifeguard caught hold of him, brought him out, took out the water from inside. And then I was standing right there. I told him, Arey, give some reward to this guy. He has saved you. So he took out 150 rupees and gave. I said, Arey, he has saved your life. Give at least 500, Baba. He said, no, I have read in Radheshyam Prabhu's book, body costs only 150 rupees. Discover yourself. Gita course. Then I asked him, in spite of repeated warning, why you went inside? He said, I am so expert at swimming, I never thought that I will get trapped while swimming. So therefore, usually experts get in trouble because they are the ones who become neglectful. And the statistics reveal that amongst those who drown, majority are expert swimmers. Those who don't know swimming hardly drown because they don't enter the water only. That is the minimum qualification for drowning. Is you have to be in the water. If you are standing on the banks and looking at the water and waving to all the swimmers, there are very less chances you will drown. So similarly, when we are new in Krishna consciousness, we are very careful. And then gradually, we start feeling comfortable with the waves. And we start thinking, okay, little bit here. I'm now an expert. I'm 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. What difference it makes? So that's where gradually we start getting pulled in. And so, the biggest wave which affects us is the wave of disrespect and neglect towards other devotees. So about Pandit Haridas it is said, Sushila Sahishnu Shanta Vadanya Gambhir Madhura Bachana Madhura Cheshta Mahadhir Sabar Samman Karta Koren Sabar Hit Kautilya Matsarya Himsa Na Jane Tarachit. So Pandit Haridas, the head priest of Govinda temple, was demonstrating all the qualities of a Vaishnava. Sushila, well-behaved, Sahishnu, tolerant, Shanta, peaceful, Vadanya, compassionate, Gambhir, very, very sober, Madhura Vachan, sweet in his speech, Madhur Cheshta, expert in his dealings. So all of those symptoms he was demonstrating. But the best symptom he showed was Vaishnavera Gunagrahi. He was simply accepting the good qualities of other devotees. He was determined not to see other faults. Na dekhaye dosh, he would not see the faults. Kaye mane vakye kore Vaishnav santosh. He was always trying to please the devotees. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada was so successful in establishing Krishna Consciousness Society and ISKCON globally is because Srila Prabhupada had 5 qualities as a leader. Srila Prabhupada was humble. Number 2, he was enthusiastic. Number 3, Srila Prabhupada appreciated all the devotees and their contributions. 4th, Srila Prabhupada recognized excellence. And 5th, Srila Prabhupada gave creative freedom to all. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada established Krishna consciousness in the Western world, where no one had ever imagined that Krishna consciousness could be established and practiced. And so Srila Prabhupada would, be asked, how you are able to do this? So Prabhupada would say that he sees the potential of the devotees, of what they can accomplish, or what they can do. Like one devotee was putting stamps on an envelope. So he was taking the stamp, placing it on the tongue, using the saliva, and then putting the stamp on the envelope. Srila Prabhupada walked in, he saw this and he said, "What is this? This is muchi. This is impure. This is not proper. You should have a bowl, have water, use the water to wet this stamp and then utilize. Not like this with saliva." So the devotee got a bowl of water and then he was putting the stamps on the envelope. And then after some time, he ran out of water. Only one stamp was remaining. And there was no water. So he was thinking, who is going to get up and fill water again just for one stamp? I already have vast experience with the old style. And then he looked left, he looked right. Nobody was there. Nobody was watching. So he thought only the last stamp. So he took that stamp and placed it on his tongue. The door opened and Prabhupada was standing. And he said, "I told you." So old habits die hard. So sometimes we may wonder, why is this devotee behaving like this? Why is this devotee speaking like this? Why is this devotee's attitude like this? But Srila Prabhupada built a house where the whole world can live. So Krishna is all attractive. He is attracting all categories of souls. So we have to appreciate that and understand the potential. The third aspect in relationship building is we have to respect the differences. There may be differences. And then the best example of the difference is Krishna and Sudama. Sudama, completely poverty-stricken, comes to Dwarka, and Krishna gives him the honor of sitting on the Simhasan of Dwarka. Kuchailam malinam kshamam dvijam dhamani santatam Devi paryacharat sakshat chamara bhajanena vai. The devotees in Dwarka are astounded. This Sudama is not wearing any proper clothes. Malinam. The clothes are dirty. Kshamam. His body is emaciated. Dvijam dhamani santatam. You can see his veins. But then, who's standing on the side? Rukmini Devi holding the chamar. And then she is offering worship. Devi paryacharat saksha chamara. And then Krishna sits and takes Sudama's feet in his hand and washes. And then takes that pada prakshalit jal and places on his head. And so, all the residents of Dwarka are wondering, Kim manena kritam punyam avadhutena bhikshuna shriyahinena lokesmin gurhitena adhamena cha. When someone has committed sins in the past, so he becomes poverty stricken. But this Sudama is getting such intimate respect and association and love of Krishna, and unless one has tremendous amounts of piety, he cannot get Krishna's reciprocation like this. What kind of piety has he performed? Shriya hinena lokesmin garhitena adhamena cha. And then Krishna, then at that time when Krishna offers him so much of respect, Sudama is in doubt. I am so fallen, I am so poverty stricken. Krishna is offering a red carpet welcome to me here, giving me so much of honor and respect. Is it really for me? Then Sudama started thinking, maybe they were all preparing to welcome some other great sage and personality. All the arrangements were made. At that time I entered. So there is a case of mistaken identity. So the honor meant for someone else is being given to me. Sudama started having that doubt. Krishna could read that doubt. Krishna immediately started narrating how they spent time together in the Guru's ashram. To convince Sudama, I have recognized you properly. It is not mistaken identity. I know you are Sudama. And then next day, Krishna embraces him, offers him nice prasadam, and then sees him off. The main mission for which Sudama came was what? To get some wealth from Krishna. Krishna never wrote a check, never gave any wealth. He offered him nice prasad. He gave him lot of respect, nice place to stay, and next day paid him farewell. Right? So if you go for Janmashtami collection or Rath Yatra collection to someone, and the person offers you garland, chandan, chadar, shawl, starts glorifying you in Sanskrit verses, after some time you will be impatient. You will say, that is all fine, but sir, I have come for some other business. I am here on business. But when Krishna offered him so much of respect, on the way back, Sudama was not frustrated, he was in bliss, which appears contradictory. That Krishna never gave him anything in terms of material wealth, but why was Sudama in ecstasy? Shvobhute nishtavavena swasukhena bhivandita jagama swalayam tata patham anubrajyanandita shvobhute vishwabhavena swasukhena bhivandita. So Krishna gave Sudama two things which made him perfectly satisfied. Krishna gave him respect and Krishna gave him love. When one offers service to others with respect and love, that satisfies the heart. And therefore, in the midst of all differences between Krishna and Sudama, the common binding factor was service offered with respect and love. So therefore, Bhaktitirth Maharaj mentions the 4 principles of spirituality. First is humility, which means that it is the qualification for knowledge and you mean what you desire. Second is simplicity, which means I increase my austerity and decrease my artificial necessities. Third is humanity. I avoid cheating propensities and improve my habits. And fourth is community. Share the knowledge with the next generation. Inspire and protect the next generation from various attacks of material energy. So, we respect the differences of others, and based on that, we try to see that this person is built different. Not all the devotees can have all the skills. It is not possible. Therefore, Bhagavatam 1st canto, Narad Muni says, Idam hipamsas tapasas shrutasya va svishtasya suktasya cha buddhidattayoho. Whatever skills you have, use them in Krishna's service. Because Krishna is aspiring to receive from us what we have, not what we don't have. And that is important. Like we had a brahmachari in our temple who did not know how to sing kirtan. So for 5 years in the congregation program, he was singing same tune. So the congregation requested that 5 years we are hearing same tune. Mantra is anyway same. Can we have a different tune for a change? Doesn't cost much. So he said, okay, I'll try. So he went to the temple, approached a brahmachari who knows how to sing, and he said, Hey Baba, teach me one new tune. So that brahmachari taught him a tune. This devotee thought he has learned the tune. Because when you hear Madhav Prabhu and Vayasaki Prabhu and this and that, when you are hearing, you think you have got the tune. Right? And you feel you are right there. It happens with me also. And then, when he actually went for the program and he switched on the mic, all the tune wiped off. Same Hare Krishna dhun. So the congregation said, hey, you told last time you are going to... Baba, I tried. So next time he went and told this brahmachari friend, Arey yaar, you taught me that tune, but we have to have some different technique because I forget. So that devotee was also out-of-box thinker. He said, your program is at 7:30, I'll start teaching you at 6 o'clock. We'll teach you for 15 minutes. From 6:15, go on singing non-stop. Till you sit on the Vyasasana. He said, Arey, that's a brilliant idea. So if you don't stop, you will not forget. So he said, that's a great idea. So he learnt, and then he went in the local train singing. Everybody is thinking, what a blissful brahmachari. Even in the midst of heavy crowd in the train, he is singing. So then he came to the program, and there was an altar. He offered obeisances and chanted Namo Om Vishnu Padaya. He got up Forgot the tune. After that, he never tried. So many times, devotees are in anxiety. I don't have this skill. I don't have that skill. I don't have this situation. If only I had that. Krishna is anxious to receive what you have. He is not anxious to receive what you don't have. He doesn't want you to borrow from somebody and give. So therefore, Krishna is very pleased with offerings of love which we share as per our talent, our skills, whatever we can. And therefore Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said that when the Harinam Sankirtan is going on in Jagannath Puri, all the devotees from Bengal are chanting that Kirtan. Seeing that Kirtan, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya glorifies them. Aiche prema, aiche nritya, aiche haridhvani, kaha nahi dekhi, aiche kaha nahi shuni. I have never seen such Kirtan, I have never seen such, inundation of love, Pratapadar Maharaj says. What exactly is this? Bhattacharya kohe, ei madhura kirtan, chaitanya srishti, ei prema sankirtan. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's creation. This is prema sankirtan. It has been imported from the spiritual world. But what exactly is sankirtan? It is not just some melodious music. Sankirtan means all the devotees set aside all the questions in their mind which may be cropping up. Questions of how to increase prosperity and avoid adversity. Leave aside all those questions and all of us sacrifice all of the other questions and focus on one question. How can I serve you and please you, Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji? When we focus only on that one question, that question in unison manifests in the form of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So this is a question being put forward in a united manner. We come together in unison. And that is known as Sankirtan Yagya. Why is it a sacrifice? Because there could be other questions which are bothering us. But during that moment, we leave aside all those questions and focus only on this question. How can I serve you and please you? Keha nache keha gaye Sri Krishna Gopal, Premete bhasila loka stri vriddha abal. And all categories of devotees are engaged in that Sankirtan. So this is the third, which is respect the differences. In our profession, in our ashrams, in our social situation, in our family, we may be bothered by millions of unique questions. Each one of us sitting in this room has a million questions to deal with. But when we enter into this sanctum sanctorum, when we come in front of the emperor, we leave aside, we agree, we choose to leave aside all those questions. And in spite of all the differences, we agree to be united in asking that one question. At this moment, how can I serve you and please you? And so the fourth is tolerate the unchangeable. Because in spite of everything, things may not change. but we tolerate. And the fifth is to forgive the mistakes. Because in spite of that, mistakes may happen. And the fourth and the fifth theme is something we will take up in more detail tomorrow through the pastimes of Lord Ram as we narrate some beautiful episodes from Ramayana and explain how Lord Ram is demonstrating this principle of tolerance and forgiveness along with other qualities in the Raghunath temple, and more details will be shared during the announcement. So thank you all very much for coming this evening. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, if you are, whatever is. You're the boss.
Hare Krishna. So we have about 20 minutes till the temple closes. Gaurang Prabhu will be available. Is there any maybe 2 or 3 questions that we can take real quick? So we can go from there.
Should we have questions or should we have kirtan?
Questions, raise your hand. Kirtan, raise your hand.
I thought so.
There was only one question that we have to ask.
Sorry? What? Yeah, you have. Huh? Yeah. Yes, sing Hare Krishna. So we will now sing as the arati is going on. Hare Krishna. You can bring a harmonium for me? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Radha Kala Chanji Radhe 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 जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद। जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकचार्यष्टोत्तरक से श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की। इस्कॉन विपरीत संस्थापक आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकचार्यष्टोत्तरक से श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासति गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम के पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुर धाम के नवदीप मायापुर धाम के गंगा माई जमुना माई भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की। श्री श्री राधा कालचंद जी भगवान की। जय गो प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. प्रहलाद दायिने। हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्षः 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 शैलटङ्कानखालये हे शैलटङ्कानखालये तो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह हे यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह हे यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह बाहि नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह बाहि नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह बाहि नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह हे नरसिंहम् अदीं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहम् अदीं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलबरे नख अद्भुत शृंग दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंग केशवधृता नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तब कर कमल वरे नखा अद्भुत शृंगो दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंह देव नरसिंह देव नरसिंह देव जयो नरसिंह देव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज जयो नर हरे नर हरे नर हरे जयो नर हरे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की श्री श्री राधा कालचंद जी भगवान की गौ प्रेमानंदे
Hare Krishna. We'd like to thank Gaurang Prabhu for the wonderful inspiration that he has given us. The wonderful. Tomorrow we'll have a session in Plano. We'll continue the discussion today and also speak about the art of resilience from the histories of Sri Ram's pastimes. This will be in Plano. Varjendra Prabhu, would you like to?
Yeah, it's in Raghunath Temple. It's in McDermott and Independence intersection, exactly like in the McDermott and Independence intersection.
We will have him standing next door, so you won't miss that place. Thank you so much again. His Grace Gaurang Prabhu ki.
से पता नहीं रहता